This is a great day. You can feel the football in the air. As an old washed-up football athlete myself, I just want to welcome you on behalf of the athletic department and the university. Obviously, we have big announcements, and you can see that with the great people behind me. But before we get to that, I want to recognize a few people in the audience, starting with the man who runs the show at TU, my boss, Dr. Jerry Clancy. If we can please give him a hand. And also a man who puts in a lot of work, the chair of the athletics committee for the TU Board of Trustees. That's David Easton, his wife Tracy. They're here as well. Thank you for being here. Many times you've heard me reference the football program at TU, and the university began in 1894. This football program started in 1895. So it's very important to the campus. It's very important to the community. The first game after the campus moved from Muskogee to where it is now was at Athletic Park in 1908. So our relationship with the city is deep. So last year, our athletics department embarked on what we call the For Our City campaign. And for us, that's more than simply a slogan or marketing tagline. For Our City, in our view, represents a commitment to engaging and deepening our relationship with the greater Tulsa community. That being said, we're thrilled to have two special announcements. The first one on September 1st, which is our home opener, very important game, 6 p.m., so it's not hot, so I hope everybody can come out and see it. And we're dubbing this game the For Our City Hometown Heroes game. On that day, we'll recognize and honor the dedicated men and women, a lot of them behind me, as you can see, our police officers, firefighters, and EMT professionals. In the past years, we've always recognized them, but we've kind of lumped them in with the Military Appreciation Day. So we felt like this special group of people deserve their own special day, and we're going to recognize them. We have a lot of things going on that day. I'll list some of them, including catered pregame tailgate for all local police officers, firefighters, and EMTs, a special in-game recognition of all our hometown heroes in attendance, great giveaways for the fans and the first responders. And we're also doing something different this year. It's our first Canes on Chapman concert series, which is a pregame concert for everyone involved. And then we're also going to have post-game fireworks. Since the game, again, is at night, the weather should be great. And then additionally, because of the generous donation of a TU alum who is also a former Tulsa police officer, all of the first responders will receive 2 complimentary tickets to support them, and so they can all be there in attendance. And I want to recognize the people on the stage, the great people on the stage who are here with me. From Bixby, representing Police Chief Ike Shirley is the Administrative Assistant Angela Williams. From Broken Arrow, Police Chief Brandon Berryhill, Fire Chief Jeremy Moore, and Assistant Fire Chief Mark Stewart. From Claremore, Police Officer Brian Burnett and Jordan Holland. From Coweta, Police Chief Mike Bell, firefighter paramedic Edward Cunningham. From Kellyville, Deputy Police Chief Byron Davis. From Owasso, Fire Marshal Johnny Peterson. From Sand Springs, Fire Captain Jeremy Wade. From Wagner, Sheriff Chris Elliott and Sergeant Jeff Halfacre. From Sperry, Police Chief Justin Birch. And from Tulsa, Fire Chief Ray Driscoll and Police Chief Chuck Jordan. Please give them a round of applause. Again, we're certainly honored that they are here today. And secondly, on the morning of September 15th, the University of Tulsa will once again host the Walk to End Alzheimer's on our campus. And thanks to the work of, obviously, Coach Montgomery, Ashley, all the great work that you've done. Last year, you may have heard this, it was the most successful walk in Tulsa history, raising more than $1 million to fight and end the disease. So please, a round of applause for them. I'd also like to recognize our friends from the Oklahoma chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, and in particular, Director of Development, Tony McGee, who is here in the front row. Thank you for being here with us. This year, we hope that you will join us for this awareness game. This is another night game, so no excuses. September 15th, 6 p.m. against Arkansas State. We hope that the local community will come out that day, support the walk, and Golden Hurricane football, obviously. We'll have, again, special pregame tailgate for the walk participants, our second concert that day on Chapman, and many other great activities. So It's going to be a great, great time. We're looking forward to it. Again, it's football season, but it's also soccer. It's also cross country. A lot of our student athletes put in a lot of hard work, a lot of effort for their university and for their community. So with that, I'd like to recognize Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum and have him come up and say a few words.
Usually I get to the mic and the person who is shorter than me. Tall guy, Dr. Gregg. You know, we're at a really unique moment, not just in Tulsa, but in our country right now, because there's a recognition that just the natural forces of technology and urban sprawl and so many other things have made us a much more divided community, country, world than previous people knew. And if you just allow that phenomenon to continue to play out, people become more isolated, less trusting, and communities break down. And so there's a real recognition here in Tulsa, and I think in other cities around the country, but especially here, that we value one another, we value our sense of community, and we don't want things to go down that path. We want to have a community where we know one another, where you get to know the folks that live in your town. And to do that, you have to intentionally go about things that bring people out of the little bubbles that they float around in. All of us do every day between our homes and our work and our group of friends that we might have. And so there's a few things that we're doing very intentionally locally to build community. One of those is the greatest public park gift in the history of the country that'll be opening up next month. That is deservedly getting a lot of focus. But I'll tell you, in my lifetime, one of the things that I've always found to be one of the best community builders that we have is TU athletics. And I think it's so fitting, the notion of for our city and the focus on that, because TU athletics is something that brings people from all parts of our city together to experience joy and excitement and to root for our team, first and foremost as Tulsans. A lot of people ask me, you know, what are the best parts of being mayor? And I'll tell you, one of the high points for me of my whole time, all year and a half of it so far, one of the real high points, though, was to be, during last season, to get to escort the USS Tulsa crew out onto the field at TU, and to be out there with these men and women who are serving our country, who are out there risking their lives to protect us, and to see everybody in the stands, the TU fans, the visiting teams fans, everybody stood up to applaud those men and women standing on that field. And that's why I love this focus on first responders. And I really hope that, I would love for us on September 1st to have the best attendance that we've ever had for a TU game here locally, for everybody in our community to turn out to show their appreciation for these men and women who go out every day and risk their lives so that we can go about our lives with our families and our jobs in our community in a peaceful way. And I'm so thankful to TU for honoring our first responders, not just here in the city of Tulsa, but throughout the region in such a way. Again, it shows the commitment that TU has to building community here. One other area that we've been very intentional about in Tulsa, though, is the focus on Alzheimer's. We're actually the first dementia-friendly city in Oklahoma. We're leading a grassroots initiative on that front, but we're also recognized, not just nationally, but around the world, as one of the focal points for fundraising around Alzheimer's research. There's really a disproportionate, for our population, focus on aiding research behind Alzheimer's and for the Alzheimer's Association. So I'm really thankful for TU also recognizing that unique niche that we have here locally and finding a way to support it through this particular game as well. So my hope as the mayor is that we experience this as a community, that we recognize that these players, they do such a great job representing our community all around the nation, both in the towns that they're playing at, but also on a nationally televised audience. I hope that Tulsans will come out to show their support for those players who really work so hard. I mean, we get to see them play, but I think as Coach can tell you, the hard work is in the practice in between that we don't get to see. It'd be great for everybody to come out and show their support of our players at that, but also on these particular game days, to be there to support our first responders, to show the honor that we have for them in this community, and to support Alzheimer's research here in Tulsa as well. So with that, I also, since I don't usually get the chance to brag on him, it is very cool to get to be the mayor of Tulsa at the time that we have one of the most innovative coaching minds in the country leading our team at TU. Actually, I think it was literally the night I got sworn in. I went to an event at Dr. Clancy's home, got to get my selfie taken with Coach Montgomery, and that was the most exciting thing that happened to me on the day I got sworn in. So I am very honored to get to turn the podium over to him, and I want to thank you all for helping us spread the word, and I want to thank you all for the great work that you do to keep us all safe. Thank you.
Well, I can promise you that wasn't the best part of his day. And then, you know, as a football coach, I don't know that there's many times that you actually get to follow up the mayor speaking, and I don't know that that's good for me because he does a much better job at this than I do. So, but thank you very much. I'd also like to give my sincere thanks to all the men and women, police, fire, EMT personnel across our city, especially those that are in attendance today. I got an opportunity to meet several of them back there. What a special time for us to come together and to support the men and women that really support us in our city. These people, not only are they sacrificing their time and they have a love and passion for what they do, but you also have to consider what their families go through every night and every day while they're out trying to protect you and trying to protect us. So thank you very much for what you do and how you do it and how you represent our city. I'd also like to thank the Oklahoma chapter of Alzheimer's, Tony being here, which is great, and we have a pretty good relationship. Obviously, Ashley and I are very involved in it. My wife does a whole lot more than I do, but they are really pushing for us to continue our support for this disease that's a killer. You know, there's no answer to it yet, but it's coming, and we know it's coming. But it's going to come with the support of you and us keeping it on the forefront. And Tulsa has done a great job of that. We did raise over $1 million thanks to you and your support for our program and what we do. I have to give President Clancy a lot of thanks for allowing us to move the walk to campus. It was a big hit last year, and we are trying to continue to do this. This will be our 4th annual Alzheimer's game, and this will be the 2nd time now that we've had the walk on campus. So I want to thank him and our Board of Trustees for allowing that to happen. I know a lot of other people are involved in that, but it's a big deal to have it on campus. And it gives an opportunity for the community, in my opinion, to come up and see campus. You know, we have a beautiful campus right here in the center of town, and we want people to come and be a part of it because we are your university, and we want to represent you in the right way. We also, with September 1st being our game that we want to represent the city and represent all the people that have sacrificed for the city, especially to be able to honor these men and women of our police, fire, and EMT. So you coming out and supporting not only our football team, but also these men and women that really sacrifice so much for us. It's going to be a great day. Just like Dr. Gregg said, we're starting in the evening this time, so you know weather can't be a factor for you. Come out. We'll have a good time. I promise you, we're going to try to keep you on the edge of your seat, keep you happy and screaming and hollering. And you can even holler at the coach as long as you're not sitting by my wife. And, you know, all that'll be good. But September 1st is just another way that we can show our gratitude for our fire and for our police and for our EMT personnel. On September 15th will be the Walk to End Alzheimer's on campus. Obviously, this has affected my family, my wife's and mine on both sides of it. We have been very strong in this cause, and we continue to do that and want to do that. But September 15th, Arkansas State will be in town. We'll have the walk that morning. You'll have a chance to tailgate, have fun throughout the day. We want you to stay and support our football team at the end of it. There are all-timer T-shirts that are out there that you can wear to games. You can go online and find those. But it's a chance, again, for us to come together and show our support, not only for our football team and our university, which is TU, but also to fight this deadly disease. As we continue to move forward on this, there's no question that we're excited about the football season and what it represents. I've been talking to our players every day about the work that you put in, the diligent effort that you put in. Our motto, if you will, for this year is details, and we want to pay attention. There are no small details in what we do. We've got to stay on task about what it is, and we get an opportunity to write a new story and a new book and a new chapter each and every day. We get to do that right now in our country. We get a chance to continue to write this story, and whatever we want it to be, it will be. But as long as we come together and do that together, we can write a great book. So let's continue to do that and push forward together in this cause. Not only on the all-timer side, but also supporting and being there for our police and fire and EMT. Both those weekends, it's the first 2 weekends, September 1st, September 15th. We'd love the community to come out and support us. If you need tickets, I promise you, even if you just call my office, I can tell you where to go get them. But go to TulsaHurricane.com. You can find tickets there. You can call 918-631-GO-TU, and we will get you located in the right spot. If you have problems on any of those, if you come knock on my door, I promise you I will walk you across the street to get tickets. Love to have you there. Want you to come support. I want to thank Dr. Gregg for all of his support, our Board of Trustees and President. Thank you again for all the men and women back here on the stage and those that were not able to be here with us. Thank you for everything you do, and go TU.
Any questions for media for any of the three, for any of our participants up here? Questions? Microphone is in the back.
Coach, we know how you've been involved in the Alzheimer's cause here and how you said it's touched your family. Can you talk logistically how this came together for September 15th with everyone that comes out to the walk will get tickets to the game, and also just what that means to you to see the support come behind that?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people in the community that do so much in the Oklahoma chapter and then at TU and just throughout the community that do so much to help us support this attempt, and we know we're going to get there, work towards ending Alzheimer's. Obviously, Ashley and I were kind of getting involved in this because my mother at the time is now going through it. I lost my grandmother. She lost her grandmother to it. We were already getting involved in this a little bit prior to us getting here. When we got here, we were probably here a week when we got invited to the gala. And then I think a week later, Ashley was already on the board, and here we go. But that's the great thing about this city. You know, I get asked this all the time, you know, what is it about Tulsa? And it's all about the people. You know, we have a big city, yes, that's part of it. You got all the amenities of the big cities. We got all these great restaurants to eat at, mom and pop places to go. But the thing that I still love is that I can go to the grocery store and I still see my neighbor. We can be walking in the community and you're walking your dog and you're seeing people that you know. The people make Tulsa, and our community is strong because of the people, and that's why the Alzheimer's has done so well here.
Coach, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit of football, just kind of going into September 1st. Where are you guys at right now as far as camp goes, and more specifically the quarterback situation?
Well, I'm going to let the mayor answer the quarterback situation. And then as far as practice has gone really well. I mean, our guys have put in a lot of work all the way from you know, January up until now. They've had about, you know, they get a little break from school, and then they're back here and they're working out all summer long. I've been really, really pleased with the effort that we've had. I think our excitement level is really good. I think we're working together. We got to stay healthy. But our guys are working at a good pace. We had a scrimmage Saturday. We had a really good turnout for that. We had several fans out and supporting that. And our guys are showing signs of the direction that we need to go. We got to continue to get there. Our focus, obviously, we've got a tough schedule. That being said, our focus is on game one. We'll take it one at a time, and we know we got a 10-win team coming in here on September 1st that we got to be ready for.
Mr. Mayor, your thoughts on the quarterback?
I like it right there. I mean, a lot of confidence in it, and I think he was right to the point. Perfect.
Coach, I was talking to Bill Blankenship yesterday, and I just simply asked him, how important is it for this team to succeed in this town and what it does for the community? Just want to know your thoughts on that. He obviously said it goes pretty well when you guys do good. So
it really does, because the university is the city and vice versa. We are we're breaded together. Everybody can talk about other colleges around the country or other colleges in this state, but this is the University of Tulsa, right? And this is our community. We want to represent it well, and I believe whether you're in a school, high school, junior high, or college, if your athletics are doing well, your school is doing well. And it changes the whole concept of what's going on campus, because everybody's positive about it. Everybody's got a little more pep in their step. And people are going to class and they're talking about it and everybody's encouraged about it. And it brings an excitement level to our city and to our university. So we know we got to play well. We're going to play well. And our guys they're working extremely hard every day to make that happen.
A two-parter here. First one for Coach Monty, and then the second one for Dr. Gregg. Coach, with what's going on here with the personnel behind you, can you talk about the power of using sports to try and unify, especially at this time in society when there is some dissension? And then for Dr. Gregg, with the Alzheimer's part of it, can you talk about getting behind Coach as kind of a face of that and trying to take it to another level?
I think the biggest thing, and I'm a really big believer in this, there's not a better melting pot in our society than in a college football locker room. Because I can bring a kid from a little bitty town that's got 200 people in it. I can bring a kid from one of the major cities in the United States, raised differently, brought up differently. One guy may have money, the next guy doesn't. But when I put them all in the locker room together, we become a family, and we become close. We understand and learn about each other because you're in those close proximities that you got to understand what the guy beside you, what he's about, what makes him tick, what makes him go. If we'll just sit down and talk, everything else will go away. If we'll just sit down and talk, people will get along, in my opinion. I'll let you do the other part.
And to answer that question, as you can see, he's very easy to support. And our young men follow him, the direction that they're giving his staff. But this is a disease that affects a lot of people, my family as well. I've lost my mother's siblings more recently to dementia. So I understand it. We don't have a cure for it, and that's a big challenge too. So it's trying to support him, but support everybody who's involved in it, because I think it touches a lot of us, and almost all of us if you really think about it. So, and again, he's just a great guy, and bringing him on a few years ago, he just lit up the room, and he's lit this room up too, and I know he's going to light that room up, and we're going to light it up on Saturdays too. So I'm ready. You can tell I'm an old football player, so I'm ready to go.